Ladies and gentlemen, strength of the mind is not built in one day, nor does it come from comfort. It is a discipline, a path, a choice that must be made every single morning to become the most mentally strong version of yourself. You must embrace the truth. By accepting the pace of life, you remain steady, unshaken, and ready to receive what is meant for you when the time is right. The second secret is discipline. Discipline is the invisible thread that holds the fabric of mental strength together. Without discipline, even the greatest ambitions remain dreams, and even the most powerful intentions fade into nothing. Discipline is the act of doing what must be done, whether or not you feel like it. It is the choice to remain committed to your path when your emotions tempt you to abandon it. This inner order transforms weakness into resilience and chaos into clarity. At its core, discipline is about mastering yourself. The world is full of distractions designed to pull your mind in every direction. Pleasure calls for your attention. Comfort whispers for you to stay still, and fear tries to hold you back. A disciplined mind acknowledges these voices, but does not obey them. Instead, it directs itself toward what is necessary, what is purposeful, and what aligns with long-term growth. True freedom comes not from doing whatever you want, but from mastering your impulses so they no longer control you. Discipline is built through consistency. It is not forged in one heroic effort, but in small, repeated actions taken every single day. Rising early when sleep tempts you. Training your body when laziness whispers, studying when distractions surround you. These moments of discipline are bricks that construct the fortress of a strong mind. With time, consistency becomes identity. You no longer need to force yourself to act because discipline becomes who you are. Another truth about discipline is that it creates trust within yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your inner foundation. But when you break your own word, you weaken. A mentally strong person does not only discipline their body or their schedule, they discipline their integrity. To be disciplined is to stand firmly in alignment with what you have declared for your life. This unshakable trust in yourself makes your mind unbreakable even when the world shakes around you. Discipline is also an antidote to fear. Fear thrives when the mind is undirected, when hesitation takes over. But a disciplined mind does not stop to negotiate with fear. It acts. It moves forward regardless of doubt. Each step taken in discipline reduces fear's power and replaces it with confidence. You begin to realize that strength does not mean never feeling fear. It means acting with courage even while fear whispers in your ear. There is also a deep connection between discipline and freedom. Many people believe discipline restricts them, but the truth is the opposite. Discipline liberates you from the slavery of impulses and from the prison of regret. When you live undisciplined, your life is ruled by habits, emotions, and circumstances outside of you. But when you live disciplined, you become the master of your time, your energy, and your destiny. Discipline is the key that unlocks true independence. Finally, discipline must be guided by purpose. To discipline yourself without direction is like training endlessly without knowing why you fight. Purpose gives discipline, meaning, and discipline gives purpose strength. When you rise every day and act in alignment with your greater vision, discipline no longer feels like a burden. It feels like devotion. It becomes a sacred practice, transforming you into the strongest version of yourself step by step, day by day. The third secret is silence. Silence is one of the most underestimated sources of strength. In a world filled with constant noise, endless opinions, and unending distractions, silence feels almost unnatural. Yet, it is in silence that the mind finds clarity and the heart finds peace. To cultivate silence is to step away from the chaos of the world and meet yourself as you truly are. This is not an escape, it is a return to your center, the place where mental strength is forged. Most people run from silence because it reveals what they have been avoiding. In the quiet, you can no longer hide behind distractions. Your fears, insecurities, and doubts rise to the surface. But this is not something to fear. It is an opportunity. Detachment allows you to listen without being owned by what you hear. It gives you the freedom to act according to your values, not according to the shifting winds of approval. There is also power in detaching from expectations. When you set a goal, give your best effort and release the need to control the outcome. You liberate yourself from disappointment. This does not mean lowering your standards. It means understanding that the outcome is shaped by many forces, not just your effort. A detached mind works with intensity but accepts whatever result comes, using it as a pink stone for the next step. This balance removes the anxiety that paralyzes so many people in their pursuit of success. Detachment is deeply connected with emotional strength. Relationships, for example, often cause great pain because people confuse love with possession. True love is not about owning or controlling someone. It is about allowing them to be free while you remain whole within yourself. Detachment teaches you to love deeply but without fear of loss because you understand that your identity does not depend on another. This creates relationships built on freedom and strength, not fear and dependence. Another aspect of detachment is learning to let go of the past and the future. Many minds are trapped in regret or lost in anxiety, but both regret and worry are attachments, clinging to what has already ended or what has not yet begun. Detachment means releasing both and grounding yourself in the present. When you detach from what is not in your control, you reclaim your power to act now, and it is only in the now that true strength can be exercised. Finally, detachment teaches resilience in times of change. Life is movement. Nothing stays the same. Seasons shift, people come and go, and circumstances evolve. To resist change is to suffer. But to accept it with detachment is to flow like water unbroken by the stones in your path. Detached mind adapts, adjusts, and endures, remaining calm in both gain and loss. This balance gives you a strength that is not fragile but enduring. a strength that cannot be shaken by the uncertainty of life. The fifth secret is endurance. Endurance is the art of continuing when every part of you wants to stop. It is the quiet strength that whispers just one more step. When the mind is tired and the body is weary, many people imagine strength as something explosive and loud. But true strength is often endurance, in the ability to keep moving forward slowly but steadily, no matter how heavy the burden becomes. This is what separates those who achieve lasting growth from those who give up too soon. Life will test you with storms. Pain, loss, failure, and betrayal are not exceptions. They are guarantees. The question is not whether hardship will come, but how you will respond when it does. Endurance is the shield that protects you in these storms. It does not remove the difficulty, but it allows you to remain standing, to keep breathing, and to move one step further even when the path seems endless. Each time you endure, you prove to yourself that your breaking point is farther than you once believed. Endurance is not blind stubbornness. It is strength with wisdom. It does not mean staying in situations that destroy you, but rather choosing persistence when the struggle is meaningful. A mentally strong person understands when to hold on and when to let go. But when the goal is worth it, endurance becomes an act of devotion. You endure not because it is easy, but because the vision ahead is greater than the pain of the present. There is also a hidden power in embracing discomfort. Endurance trains you to step into discomfort willingly, knowing it will shape you. Just as the body grows stronger by lifting weight, the mind grows stronger by carrying challenges. Every difficulty you endure becomes part of your strength, woven into your character. What once seemed impossible becomes manageable, and what once broke you now only bends you. Endurance transforms weakness into resilience. Another truth about endurance is that it builds patience. When you endure, you learn to wait without despair, to suffer without collapsing, and to trust that persistence will eventually open doors. The greatest achievements are not given to those who rush, but to those who can walk the long road without losing faith. Patience does not weaken your resolve. It deepens it. It turns endurance from a burden into a companion on the journey. Endurance also teaches humility. It reminds you that strength is not about controlling everything, but about surviving and growing in the face of what you cannot control. Each trial endured strips away pride and leaves you with a deeper appreciation for life, for progress, and for even the smallest victories. You begin to see that enduring is itself a form of triumph. A silent declaration that you are still here, still standing, and still moving forward. Finally, endurance connects you to purpose. Without purpose, endurance feels like meaningless suffering. But with purpose, every moment of struggle becomes fuel. Purpose gives you the reason to keep going when your energy is gone and your hope is fading. Endurance then is not just about surviving. It is about holding on to your mission until it comes alive. This unwavering perseverance transforms ordinary people into extraordinary beings, unshakable and unstoppable. The sixth secret is purpose. Purpose is the compass of the mind. Without it, even the strongest ship drifts aimlessly across the sea, tossed by every wave and every storm. But with purpose, direction becomes clear, and every challenge faced has meaning. To be mentally strong is not only to endure hardship or discipline the mind, it is to know why you do it. Purpose gives strength, its reason, and struggle its value. It transforms survival into fulfillment. A life without purpose is like walking in circles. You may be moving, but you are not truly progressing. Many people chase goals without asking themselves if those goals carry true meaning. They climb mountains only to discover they were on the wrong peak. Purpose protects you from this emptiness. It helps you align your actions with your deepest values so that every step, no matter how difficult, leads you closer to who you are meant to become. Purpose is also what fuels endurance. Without it, hardship feels unbearable. With it, hardship becomes fuel for growth. When you know why you're suffering, the pain becomes lighter. A person with purpose can withstand storms that would break others because they are not focused only on the suffering, they are focused on the vision beyond it. Purpose turns obstacles into stepping stones, transforming every difficulty into part of the journey. Another power of purpose is clarity. When you are guided by purpose, decisions become easier. You no longer waste energy on distractions or meaningless pursuits. You learn to say no to what does not serve your mission and yes to what does. Even if it is uncomfortable, purpose acts as a filter, clearing away the noise and leaving only what matters. This clarity sharpens the mind and strengthens your resolve. Purpose also brings peace. Without it, people live restless lives, always searching, always chasing, never satisfied. But when you discover your purpose, even the simplest tasks gain meaning. Work becomes more than work. It becomes contribution. Challenges become more than obstacles. They become growth. Life is no longer about merely existing. It becomes about living fully and intentionally. Purpose transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is important to remember that purpose is not something you simply find once and for all. It is something you cultivate. It may begin as a small spark, a curiosity or a passion, and it grows stronger the more you dedicate yourself to it. As you walk your path, your purpose deepens, expands, and evolves. This ongoing relationship with your mission keeps your spirit alive and your mind sharp. Finally, purpose is the source of resilience. When life pushes you down, purpose gives you a reason to rise again. When fear whispers that you cannot, purpose reminds you why you must. It transforms discipline into devotion, silence into clarity, detachment into balance, and endurance into victory. Purpose is the root from which all other strengths grow, the anchor that holds you steady, and the flame that lights your path through darkness. Purpose is the root from which all other strengths grow, the anchor that holds you steady when storms rage around you, and the flame that lights your path through the darkest night. It transforms discipline into devotion, because when you know why you are doing something, the sacrifices no longer feel like punishments, they become acts of love toward your vision. Waking up early, working tirelessly, choosing focus over distraction, these things stop being burdens when they are fueled by purpose. Instead of mere routine, they become rituals that connect you to your deepest aspiration. Discipline without purpose can feel like chains. Discipline with purpose feels like wings. In the same way, purpose turns silence into clarity. When you step back from the noise of the world, the opinions, the doubts, the chaos, you begin to hear the whisper of your own soul. It is in moments of quiet reflection that the answers often come. The direction reveals itself, and the confusion settles like dust after a storm. Silence without purpose can feel like emptiness, but silence with purpose becomes a sacred space for insight and wisdom to emerge. It clears the fog and shows you what truly matters. Detachment too takes on a different meaning when driven by purpose. It is not about being cold or uncaring. It is about learning to hold things lightly so they cannot control you. With purpose, detachment becomes balance, the ability to stay centered whether life brings triumph or disappointment. You no longer cling desperately to outcomes or crumble under setbacks because your worth is rooted in something deeper than circumstances. Purpose teaches you to move through life with grace, embracing both victories and losses as part of the same journey. And endurance, oh, how it transforms under the fire of purpose. When the road gets hard, when obstacles pile up, when the world says you cannot go on, purpose gives you the strength to take one more step, to rise one more time, to fight one more battle. Without purpose, endurance can feel like suffering. With purpose, it becomes the fuel of victory. You endure not because you must, but because you believe in what lies beyond the struggle. Purpose is what turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. It takes the raw materials of discipline, silence, detachment, and endurance and shapes them into something powerful and lasting. It roots you so deeply that the winds of life cannot uproot you. It anchors you so firmly that the storms cannot sweep you away. And it lights your way so brilliantly that even in darkness, you keep moving forward, one step, one breath, one heartbeat at a time, until you reach the victory that was always meant for you.